Morning, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Looking forward to sharing some thoughts with you over the video that I recorded of the sun coming up over the horizon. Heading to Tampa. I love stopping here when I'm heading up, seeing the sunrise. It's just a absolutely beautiful just time of just thinking, praying, reflecting, reading my Bible. Hope you guys enjoy it too. You know, so many thoughts come into my head, like when I'm just watching the sunrise. The first thing is I have absolutely nothing to do with it. Whether I wake up today or not, that sun is coming up. And it reminds me of how quickly time goes. My wife and I were talking yesterday. Just, you know how like on your phone, you'll get pictures scrolling from years ago? And it was a picture from I think it was like 2017, 2018 of Hallie, Reagan, and Jada. Jada would have been 2, maybe 3 years old. Hallie would have been 8. Reagan would have been 4, 5 maybe. They're just so little. And we look at them now. You know, Hallie's just, turning into a young lady. Reagan's heading into her teenage years, and Jada is in that preteen stage, and it's just like they're like our best friends now. And it's like we woke up one day and all of a sudden they were just older. And I know one day we're gonna wake up and they're gonna be moms of their own with families and blessing us with grandkids and whatnot. And just when you're sitting there waiting for the sun to come over the horizon, it seems like it takes forever. And then next thing you know, it's just bam, the sun pops up and all of that light just starts to radiate, and it happens so quick. And then next thing you know, the sun is higher and higher and higher, and I'm looking over at it right now as I'm driving the rest of the way up to Tampa, and it's way up over the horizon. We're talking a matter of 20, 25 minutes from when it just came up over the edge. And it makes me just pause and slow down and take today in stride, right? First and foremost, taking in stride your family and kids. But then a few practical things of advice on the work side of things and life side of things. When you're young and 18, 19, 20 years old, life seems so far away. I'm never going to be 30, and I'm never going to be 40, and yada, yada, yada. But if you take every single day and believe that day has power, that you have the ability to make a difference in that day, number one, be a good person to the world around you. Number two, be responsible with that day. And I'm pretty sure if I sat down and talked to every 35-year-old, they wish they would have gone back in their late teenage years and early 20s and done better financially. I just ran a quick calculation. If a 20-year-old would save $500 a month and do that for 40 years, that's $6,000 a year. All total, they would have saved $240,000 of their own money. And if that person were to invest in the stock market, and assuming the stock market does what it historically does, if you give it 10 years, it'll average 10%. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less, but on average, since the 50s, 60s, 70s, a average return given a 10-year window is 10%. And if you take that and apply it with compounding interest, over those 40 years, that 20-year-old that saves until he or she is 60 would have $2.5 million saved up in their savings account. And what that translates to is roughly $175,000 of income that they can take 5% every year. They don't have to get in and have their principal go lower than, that $2.5 million. And they have the ability to be prepared for the future. And if you're watching this right now and you're like, man, I don't know when to start saving for long-term goals, or how do I save for a house, or all these things. A guy in my office named CJ, he has a quote. I'm not sure where he got it from, but he said there's an old Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago, and the second best time to plant a tree is today. And you can't rush time. You can't the get rich quick stuff, the overnight lottery winner, and all those things. They're just, statistically, it's never going to happen to you. But if you grind every day, you get up, spend time with God, do what you need to do for your family, and then put in the work every day into your career, and be willing to grow past yourself every single day, I'm a firm believer that we can truly have the capacity to make a financial difference for generations to come. Whenever I progress long enough in my career that I have the ability to make my own office, I believe the name of that company is going to be Transcending Wealth. And that comes from a book that I read last week called Game of Numbers by Nick Murray. And he brought out the fact that we in the financial world have one of the highest callings in the planet. And that is, every single person that you deal with has to deal with money. And we have the ability to help them make wise financial decisions that can protect their families through life insurance, and that can build a legacy that has the ability to transcend past that person's death. If I start saving now and I accumulate a few $1 million, and I pass that along, I have 5 kids who are better off financially than I ever would, than I had the ability to be at this state of the game. Now, that being said, the scriptures also tell us that the love of money is the root of all evil. And with everything, we have to have a balance. If we don't have balance, everything's going to get off kilter. And if we chase our careers and we chase money at the expense of our family, it's all for naught. If you're a billionaire, but your wife hates you and your kids don't want anything to do with you other than your money, you missed it. But if you live life with a balance and you're willing to invest into your family, invest into planning for the future, and take every day as an investment that you're never going to get back. Whether it's a good day or a bad day, you never get a do-over of today. But on that same note, every single day, you're in the captain's chair. You have the ability to take everything, whether it's good news, bad news, and you can take that and you have the ability to react rightly in every single circumstance. And if you're like, well, I don't know what to do here. I don't know, what this means. I don't know just all the ins and outs of everything. There's a lot of people that have been around for a lot longer than you and I that have the ability and the willingness to want to help you. Furthermore, the scriptures give us every single principle we need to live life, including saving for the future. You know, Charlie Kirk said, one of the amazing proofs that the Bible is a supernatural book is the fact that there's not one single principle that if we take it and apply it to our life gets worse. Everything in Scripture, if taken and applied, it benefits you. Through relationships, through marriage, through finances, through careers, through honesty, integrity. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I say all that to say, as you watch the sun go across the sky today, realize that every single second that just passed is gone, and it's now history. But every single second that you're coming into today, you have the ability to change that future for this exact moment in time. If you want to eat healthier, start right now. If you want to get up earlier, get up earlier. If you want to be more successful in whatever you're doing, do the things to be successful right now, and you truly will have the ability to get to the end of the day, and whatever you do for your end of day routine, whether it's family, dinner time, if it's hanging out with your kids, if you're by yourself and you're just sitting on the couch, having the ability to say, man, that was a good day. There's not a single person out there that doesn't have the ability to make progress today. And I want to encourage you, whatever it takes, make progress in some area so that when you lay your head down on your pillow tonight, you're not living with, man, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or I could have done this better, and blah, 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 blah. Take every second in stride, seize the day, and do what you need to do to make today a good day, not of your own volition, with God's blessing, in God's timing, in God's way. Make today a better day than it started.